further ado, let me introduce a legend in his own mind, Frank Bertola. Take it away, Frank.
Thank you. Well, I hope that you find this valuable and interesting. The way I start talking about this is with a website needs a strong foundation. What I mean by that is the one that 23% of all websites are built on, and that's called WordPress. You've probably heard of this. How many people have heard of WordPress here? Okay, it's becoming very, very popular. It's very user-friendly, so that means the owner of the website can actually log in like this. They can look at the list of pages. They could click on a page if they wanted to edit it, and they'll see on the admin side just the way it's laid out. This is a customer of ours in Connecticut. So if I wanted to edit something, I would just change the text, change the photo, hit update, and boom, you're done. And what happens is that content area gets wrapped by what's called the theme. And the theme contains the navigation, the background, and the imagery that makes the site look the way it looks. Now you can choose a theme on WordPress that's free and customize it any way you want. We build custom themes because we're dealing with customers that really have a certain brand in mind, the way they want the branding to look. Now getting the basics right. There's a lot of basics here. And the number one thing to me is getting your message clear. You know, you don't want people going to your website and saying, what's this all about? And then they're going to bounce. It's called out of there. So you want to have a call to action. You want to have your phone number very prominent. Many people just use the web as yellow pages today. So they're going to go there just to find your phone number. So there's a lot of things here. A unique selling proposition. You know, you've heard that at other marketing seminars. This is a site we did in 2011, and if you look at the site, you know, the things that are going to draw your attention is the call to action. So it has a coupon, the phone number's there, social media is very important, so I need that prominent, and of course the video. Now today I would do this differently. I would have a bigger frame for the video. People love videos. There's things not to use, anything really tricky or sort of like, you know, like it was designed by a fancy ad agency. It's usually going to just confuse people, and it may win an art award, but it's not going to convert people into customers. So there are certain designs. One of them is called parallax, where you click on it and it goes up like this, like a slot machine, and it really kind of disturbs me when that happens. And it actually is just one big long page, which is terrible for SEO. In fact, this customer of mine, does anyone ever use this, Lawhorns?
Oh, yeah.
It's great stuff. And so anyways, we worked with him back in 2010, 11, 12, and he got into the big stores, got into Kroger, and decided he needed an agency from Orlando. So this is what they came up with. That's what you landed on. And, you know, why do that to people? You know, you make them hit a button to see the website, and then when they do hit it, the navigation's very small. It's just not impressive. So to me, that's a non-functional site. So we redid it. It looks like this now. And like I said, it has a big video. That's a taste test, and it's amazing the reactions you get. This just is a slider, it's called. The food goes back and forth. Now typically you're going to have different components of a website, and it's helpful just to analyze it in that manner, because you put all these things together, and that's a chart showing what it looks like just on a basic layout. You know, you can change this. You could have navigation here if you wanted to. I'll just overlay that on a blog that we manage for an accountant in Pittsburgh. And then you can see when it all comes together, you know, it looks like a website, obviously. So I could easily change that photo in the background, change the colors, change the logo, and it would be a different site. And these are just simple examples. Now citations, has anyone heard of citations in relation to doing web work?
No, but the LPD gave you one.
Okay. Well, you want to try to collect as many as you can. Put them in your glove compartment. All right. So when they pull you over, you'll have them to show them that yes, you have been around for a while. Citations are simply listings in places like this, and it's really to your benefit to have as many of these as possible. So when we get a new client, what we do is we do about 70 of them, believe it or not, and what's called a NAP, which we talked about that I'm going to need after this, is actually name, address, and phone number, and website. But NAP, well, just doesn't sound good. So you got Merchant Circle, that's an example of a citation. You can also put reviews on there too. You can see I have one review. Woohoo! That was you, Terry, right?
Yep.
Now this
I put it on just like you told me.
This is a specific effort that I made to rank well in Lakeland, okay? Because I work all over the country and I'm just saying, duh, you know, Lakeland's right here, why don't I try to go after Lakeland? This is a company that we manage also, they're in Bartow. And Yelp is a citation. Superpages is a citation. When we do the citations, we develop a worksheet so that we don't have to, reinvent it every time, because you can copy and paste. So you have your choice: long description, short description. Try to get the market area in there. You have a set of 10 photos in a folder because a lot of them allow you to put photos. All of this work leads up to your Google listing, your Bing listing, and your Yahoo listing. Those are the big three, Google being the real gorilla in the room. So if you lay the foundation of all those citations and then you go out and claim your Google My Business page and do that correctly, you have a real chance of ranking locally. And if anybody's taking notes, you really don't need to. I'm going to give you a link that has all of this stuff and even more. Mobile is taking the lead, right? More people are using their smartphones to access the web, to look for services, to hire someone, to go to a restaurant, of course. The problem is mobile websites, most of them are obsolete because they're what's called a brain freeze, dedicated mobile website. So they're what's called a dedicated mobile website. So that it gets a redirect. When someone goes to your site, it says, okay, this is a mobile device, we're going to redirect them to a small site. The new way to do it is what's called responsive. So that this site here, now I had a little movie, but it's not going to work for some reason today. But this site, if you were to just grab the corner of it and bring it across, when you get about here, it changes into a tablet layout. Then you want to get all the way over, it turns into this layout. So it's all the same content on every single page displayed like this. So on the mobile, the important things, tap the call now. You can hit the navigation, you can watch the video. Just prioritize the way things show up. Here's another example of the accountant's website. The same deal. So that's the new mobile. And April 21st, Google, they love to come out with these updates that hurt people. So they're going to come out with a mobile-friendly update. So if you're searching on your mobile device, and you're looking for a site that's not mobile friendly, it's not going to show up as high anymore. They're going to penalize the sites that are not mobile ready. And you can tell if your site is mobile ready by just doing a search on the web for your company, and it will have print there that says mobile friendly, I think. Contact form is very important. It's tied into the call to action usually. So this company offers a free version, so you can go ahead and 1, 2, 3 contact form. These are different forms that we manage. When you go in there, you can set up the form any way you like. There's a way to add attachments. There's responders that you can send back an email when somebody fills it out. And then when you put it into the site, it looks like this. It's very easy to use, and it avoids having that naked email so that the spammers don't get a hold of it. There's actually a spam filter on this. Now, reviews have become extremely important on the ability to show up on Google because they look at the reviews. They look at reviews on Google. They also look at reviews on other sites. So it's important that you get them. It's very difficult to get them. The way we work with reviews, now this is a child care center in Orlando. We went out and looked for all the good reviews, and then we put them on one page so that people could just click on parent reviews and see real reviews. And it is sort of key in, so people probably realize we're only putting the good ones there. But still, it does have real names and they're real reviews. Another way to look and try to build your reviews is to set up a page on your website that has links to the important places that you want people to give reviews, and then you send people the URL of that. So if you have an email list, you just send them a nice email saying, would you be kind enough to leave us a review? and ask them to fill this out if you want to do a little contest or something. You're not technically supposed to give away prizes for reviews, but you know, your check's in the mail, Terry, so. Now SEO is really where we stand out from most companies because we have been doing it for about 10 years when it became necessary to start optimizing. Search engine optimization is making your site so it shows up in the search engines. It's very complicated. I could do a whole day seminar on it, so I'm not going to go into it too deep. And I do talk about Google all the time because they do have the lion's share of search. And this changes now and then. In fact, Bing and Yahoo have switched places, or they're very close to each other now. So, but still, Google is over 65%. So when you look at the results, most people understand that the ones that have the ad, little yellow thing, are ads. Most people avoid clicking on them. They go for the first organic, which is where you want to be. So the first organic here are the first two, and then the local results show up after that. These local results are tied to your citation effort and creating your Google My Business page. The organic results are tied to your website and the strength of your website. And I plug for myself, this is the company Allpool, so if you typed in Pool Cleaning Orlando, since 2011 he's had the top 3 spots. He's added 2 whole routes, hired 2 new people, so investing in SEO can work very well. These are the basics. You hear people throw around these terms, you know. There's lots of people that know how to talk about SEO, very few know how to practice it and get results. But there's certain things that are very... Title tag is simply 65 characters that show up at the top of the browser. So if you have ABC Construction Company there, that's what people are going to find you for. They're not going to find you for General Contractor Lakeland. That's what should be there. So there's 2 things that really are important: the content on your site and the people who are linking to you. So every link to your site is good. The link we have on our chamber profile is good because it gives us strength. All the citations have the URL, so those are also good. The third factor is social. And the guru at Google who oversees search has admitted that social signals are going to be taken into account when they decide where you're going to rank. So they're going to look at things like likes, tweets, shares. So that's why if you had 2 identical companies, 2 identical content websites, one of them was involved heavily in social media, the other wasn't, the social media person would rank higher. This is interesting. Google will not show you this. This is a very reliable source, MOZ, and the paid clicks on the whole first page are only 23% of the clicks. But if you look at position 1 organic, you're over 30%. When you come way down to second and third page, you're only around 5% combined. So if you're not on the first page, you're not being found. How do you get on the first page? If your goals are, you want to rank number 1 for coffee, you've got a long way to go, you know. But if you were to say, okay, vacuum packed coffee beans is really what I want to sell most, you build a page for that, you have a lot of language on your site for that, and that's an attainable target. This is an example of how you can use Google Analytics, which is a free tool, and I use it to show a customer how we are getting results. So the same year, year over year, is up tremendously, 800%. And if you're talking to someone about SEO, you should look at something like this and show you the things that they rank for that client. They're not just going to do one search and say, look, I rank for blue widgets in Lakeland. This guy is not the guy to hire. Even though he sends you emails all the time and calls you on the phone and tells you in his Indian accent that he knows what he's doing, don't make the mistake of hiring somebody like this, because you can waste a lot of money. Fortunately, most of the customers I get have already wasted a ton of money with other unreliable sources. Get social. Everybody here is social media, social media, social media. So I'm not going to go into it too deeply because you know it's important. But your social footprint really goes a long way. This is the attitude of many people. Why bother? You know, I got plenty of customers, whatever. Well, the audience is there. If you choose to engage with them, you're going to benefit from it. Don't, they're probably still going to talk about you anyways, especially if it's something bad. So it's better to know what's going on, because people talk and word spreads fast. And bad news goes quicker than good news, of course. And the key to success? One word. And they're in charge right now. They have been for a while. So if you do good on Google, you're going to do good on the other search engines generally. They offer a lot of free products. Google Plus is now a social network, as well as it used to be called Google Places, so you had your business stuff. They switched it to Google Plus. It's all in one place now. Google Analytics is free. Webmaster Tools is free. YouTube is owned by Google. You can put videos. Very good idea. That's why I'm doing a video today, because I'm going to put it on YouTube, and I'm going to have all the back of your heads. Why don't you turn around and wave to the camera? Come on. But it's a real asset. You should try to maximize all your assets and get everything you can out of what you do. Now, we talked about the Lakeland effort that I made. Now, this is actually the Google My Business page. They keep changing the name of it. This is where you can see reviews, you can have a description. I just have that picture of Yosemite, which I actually took. I could put pictures of my websites there. You can add photos, like I said. Reviews are very important, so you got to get all your clients to leave reviews. And when you log into that page, it looks like this. Then if you were to click on the edit portion, you would see the actual interface where you can edit your information. What I've done is I work out of my home, actually. I have a virtual model, so my employees are at different places around the country, but I do have a virtual office location. Sometimes I even forget the address, but no, it works because I can pinpoint my address in Lakeland. That's going to give me the opportunity to rank in Lakeland. You can say within 20 miles of my business, and you'd have a dot with 20 miles around it. If you just add the towns in, you're going to do much better. So that's a little tip there. And as you can see, it worked for me. I'm number 2 in the local, and I'm number 2 in the organic. And you can never tell how that's going to play out. Those two at the bottom may be on top of the local tomorrow. But you know, looking at this, if you were to look at that, wouldn't you go for the one with the stars even though it's number 2? Those stars, people just love those gold stars. So if you get 5 reviews, you end up getting the stars. Analytics, again, will tell you how many pages they visited, how long they stayed on the site. The bounce rate is whether they just went to the home page and left or if they went deeper. So anywhere around 50% is okay. If you can start getting above 65%, that means people are going to your site, they're not finding what they want. And a blog is simply a way to add more content to your website. More consumer-friendly content. It's not a place to sell people, but there's many reasons to do it. You're going to be building relationship with people who will put you top of mind when they need your service, and you can use those blog posts on your social media. So this is a company in Toronto that sells fireplaces and stoves, and we're writing up, choosing firewood for the perfect ambiance. It's not saying, buy this stove. Or this one is very popular, famous chimneys of the world. Those are in Europe. They're just amazing, works of art. And then we'll take those and put them on social media. So that's how we get results, is by combining a really heavy-duty core website and a blog. And the blog, by adding content, is adding keywords, and then you're going to have links going back from the blog to your core website. It's an ongoing SEO effort, and that is really what, if you're going to pay monthly for SEO and you already have a good website, that's what you should be doing. Because once everything's done correctly, all the meta tags, everything is done right, there's no reason to pay anyone monthly unless they're doing some real work like blogging and social media. Okay, asking how much a website costs is asking this question to a realtor. In these people's mind, they're thinking, $250,000 or something. But it's unrealistic. So you can't think of a website like a commodity. It's not like, how much does a car cost? How much does they're all variables. There's so many variables that go into it. And I always fight that battle that people say, well, a guy does it for X dollars, It's not the same. Because this is what people think when you ask them if they're getting results from their website. They just would rather not know than know. And the way you know is by putting analytics on the site and seeing how many visits you're getting. It's a good rule of thumb for all of us. That was me in my earlier career. You know, I got hair.
He did at one point.
And if you have any other questions that occur to you, just give me a call.
Well, I'll tell you what, Frank.